Alright, hello everyone, welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns, ZSR2 today with the Crosskeys tournament. We're on to the winners bracket round 2, topplife versus KhloePrower. Should be a decent match. I've got Chimo here to do some commentary for us. Say hello.
Hey, Den, how's it going?
Going pretty well for me, thank you. Had some lovely issues with OBS buggering up my audio, which is pretty standard, but there you go. We are all live now, and hopefully everything should be audible. Let's bring some game audio
Nice.
up as well there, and we can get
Nice, yeah,
ourselves
hopefully we
started.
don't have too many issues here. So we've got KhloePrower is seed 50 versus topplife seed 18. As you said, winners bracket round 2. Should be a good matchup. They should be starting right away here.
Yeah, let's give it about 30 seconds or so. And we should be away. Sure, expecting the usual crazy nastiness that Crosskeys can throw at us, but never know, we might have a nice, fun, easy seed.
I'm expecting a jet seed here, a nice early Crosskeys seed today. We get two different starts right away. Chloe's starting at Link's house, topplife starting at Sanctuary. Got a compass and something else useless. Sanctuary at the Lumberjack drop down, which is an interesting one. You might see these runners save scum Hyrule Castle keys if they find it early, since the back is obviously locked behind Aga otherwise. Chloe's farming some bombs, heading straight for Kakariko. Toplife's gonna head also for Kakariko from the north. So we'll see a few different entrances checked here. There is Ice Palace, which is, so can't do anything with it right now. Big key in the mushroom spot, that is to Swamp Palace. That's nice to have early before you go in there. I didn't catch what was on that maze race, but it didn't look useful. Red Rupee, that is Magic Bat in the forest drop down. Dark room in the library entrance. Just a useless storyteller there. Magic Bat drop down is our Ganon today. See these two just clear out Kakariko as they can. Chloe with those farmed up bombs is going to go straight through that Brothers connector. On top left side, we see Paradox Cave. I think that was the top. He doesn't have anything to clear that out yet, but I assume he'll be back very quick. Chloe gets spit out at the dark shopping mall when he goes through that Brother connector. So that is the end of the line for him. Checks one entrance. That's kind of a useful connector, especially with how short it is. But for right now, I can't do anything. Top Life finds the Uncle drop down. I think that was the well. So that's a 2-item drop down. Nice find. We haven't seen the inside of the well yet. Useless fairy or couple item drop downs, I think. Small key to desert for sale on the bottle merchant. Both these runners checking Kakariko right away. There's a lot of entrances being crushed through really quick to start things out here. And Chloe saves and quits the sanctuary, checks out where that is, and he's gonna pick up that big key to Swamp and head into Kakariko. I have no idea what sprite Chloe is using. Possibly one of the new ones. With the new update, there was a few added. He's already finding Ganon, so Khloe just drops into that drop down. Just Magic Bat, so he can't do anything with that. Toplife not electing to go through the brother connector. Usually you'll see runners do that just because it's such a quick connector. But it does lock you out. You see, maybe he will finish checking entrances in Kakariko and then kind of go back through. So we'll see if that's what he does or something else. Back Tavern, one of the few places for a sure item in the game. There are Toplife's first bombs. And there is Zelda's castle in the Sick Kids entrance. Khloe also finds Paradox Cave, but only 2 bombs, so also can't do anything there yet, really. Well, he could drop down and buy bombs. Khloe found Flute somewhere. I totally missed that. That is a really nice find. That was just in Link's house. Oops. That was right at the start. So that is really nice. Toplife is gonna get there eventually, hopefully. It's not the easiest place to miss, but it has happened in races. But definitely a little bit of advantage getting to activate that when you first get to Kakariko instead of having to come back. Toplife finding the bombable shack in Kakariko, which was very nearly vanilla, but that's really nice early on. That'll let them fill up on bombs. Yeah, early Flute is super nice for routing, speed, whole bunch of stuff. There's a few dark connectors in Kakariko, which I won't have any idea what they are until these runners get lamp or go through them. So just finishing up some of those last entrances that hasn't been seen yet. I'd expect Toplife here to kind of check out what's down here south of Kakariko and then head back to Paradox Cave. Now with those farmed up bombs, either of these runners hula hand, which is pretty common at the start Crosskeys, but they've got a fair amount of money to start off with anyways. Hasn't been a huge deal. So the desert front entrance, Toplife is going to decide to go into there, check one item, get another one, and possibly follow a connector. We'll see. So this is kind of an interesting early play. Definitely the item is cool early on, but it's kind of a slow connector too, and one you're probably going to go back through later on since there's keys and stuff. Oh, we have Desert Smoky. Okay, so that actually makes a big difference. You can check 2 more items. These guys are a little bit of a pain with just bombs. Can move around at the last second. So likely Toplife will check at least the right entrance here after clearing out those 2 chests, but we'll see. Yeah, it looks like that's what he's doing. Gotta be a little bit careful with his health. Khloe also doing the same thing. Makes a lot of sense if you find that early desert key. Could easily be locking some progression. We get the cute little egg sprite for Toplife. That's a connector into the Bonk Ferry by the bomb shop in Dark World. Did either of these runners check that torch? I kind of feel like they didn't. And I just feel like that's odd. Or they're just expecting no boots in the seed ever. Ooh, Khloe's gotta be real careful here. Down to half a heart. There is that flute for top life that I missed earlier. It's just a part of your starting route, but it doesn't feel good to get that after. I think you just went through all of Kakariko. If I'm top life, I'm heading straight to activate that thing. Because, like, he's heading for Witch's Shop, but he could just fly there instead of fake flippering. Khloe takes a death there. I assume that was intentional to refill hearts or something. I didn't quite see. He's gonna go check that torch and possibly another entrance. Yeah, a little bit surprised not to see those guys just check it straight away in case you get locked out or something. I'd rather know about the item, but top life checks out the push top. He's gonna head down, check out this other drop down here. With the Ganon cleared, and we've already seen Magic Bat. You can just drop right down, but that's one of the slower ones to find. If you want to walk through the useless fairy, so he saves and quits out of there. Khloe finds his way to Death Mountain with half a heart, and that is not going to work out so well. That is an interesting connector. I think that was Desert Left. So putting that flute to use right away, we see Smith at the flute 5 spot, which is really not too bad when you have flute. Without it would be kind of awful. Top life activating that flute now. See where he heads after that. I still don't think either of these runners went into Paradox Cave to get the items, so that seems like a very high priority. That is Ganon's Tower. I think that's the kind of north of the lake entrance. I think that's a fairy cave. Vanilla. Map of swamp and something else. Blue boomerang. I can't do too much in Ganon's Tower yet, but that's not a terrible location for it. Moon Pearl, just sitting there right in Paradox Cave lower, and the mushroom right beside it. Top Life's gonna go to the shop here and buy some more bombs. Got some syncing going on, it sounds like. I've been able to see most of what's going on, so hopefully that keeps up. Buy some bombs, heading to the top of Paradox Cave. Khloe's just checking out those eastern entrances. It's a nice little bomb strat for those mold arms. Drop one, throw another. This is kind of a not the best gear to be dealing with them. Ice Rod. Wow, I just jumped like 30 seconds back in time. Ice Rod's good for clearing out that last mold arm that was there before I jumped. Yeah, he's gonna go through a connector here, I think. Looked like nothing in eastern entrance, I think. For Khloe, who's also checking Witch's Hut, that is the Spiral Cave exit that we already saw. It's gonna fake flipper over to the drop down, find out that's the useless fairy as well. So Toplife has found his way to East Death Mountain. I'm assuming that was Paradox Cave, the main entrance, Bugnet. In the Ice Rod Cave. Well, we've got very little so far, and that's Bugnet. Khloe is gonna walk right through that useless fairy. Not sure exactly where he's heading, just maybe fluting away. I don't know if either of these runners checked the sanctuary door yet, but maybe opting just to see what other drop downs are available first. Toplife turning in that mushroom straight away with the flute is super fast. That, of course, is the kind of go-to strat with mushroom in Crosskeys, so that you can get the item as soon as you find it. It's the lumberjack drop down at the castle, and that is a map. So as far as I know, we've got the well left and a single item drop down. So one of those is Sanctuary, and one of those is Ganon's, or the Ganon drop down on the pyramid. And Khloe finds Pod here, which is can't do a lot in there right now, but useful anyways. Check the shooter room, bounce out of there. Also can farm up some bombs while you're here, which is not the worst. Toplife's heading over to the eastern area and checking out that stuff. He found Ganon's tower, did the couple checks. That's right. The back of escape is the lumberjack drop down. Hookshot Cave. Can't do anything there yet, but it's a connector. My streams are syncing. Well and Thieves Hideout sounds correct to me. It's definitely the well is one of them. So you're hoping as a runner that Sanctuary drop down is the well. Sorry, I just had to refresh my streams here. See Toplife heading through a dark connector. That is the Old Man Cave. He's on Death Mountain. Vanilla Old Man Cave. A little bit of singing going on. Khloe finds the bomb shop. That is just south of Link's house. Skull Woods and Tower of Hera for our red crystals. That hopefully shouldn't be a location that's too hard to forget about. Being like so close to Link's house. Toplife clearing out Death Mountain checks. Well, Khloe is heading kind of east to these Lake Hylia entrances. Checks out the island. That was just a shield. Finds Super Bunny Cave and has to go the slow way because of no mirror, no hookshot. Toplife finds a bow in one of the fairy caves on Death Mountain. That is super nice. Good weapon and unlocks some stuff like 2 chests in pod right now. Chloe was pretty much at the end of his route, so it's pretty good time to go through that Super Bunny connector. Get those 2 checks. Oh, there's a sword just sitting there on Spectacle Rock, so that is mirror locked. That would give you some hope of an early mirror, but will not necessarily be so. Super Bunny Cave coming out at the useless desert exit. See Bombo sitting on the ledge there, so that's a bit interesting. Medallions, of course, not hard required in Crosskeys, but can lock a valuable entrance sometimes. And that was the archer game. If you needed any money, that's Agina's Cave. Topplife finding the back of Turtle Rock, laser bridge entrance. So that is 4 checks you can do pretty quick here. Small key to Skull Woods, a bottle. Chloe finds Aga Tower at the kind of off desert entrance. Ooh, Topplife not quite making that last laser skip. It's gonna have to go back for it. Yeah, he's opting to come from the top and use iframe skip by. There is our first sword of the match on Laser Bridge. Chloe is in a dark connector, which I assume is Old Man Cave. Takes a death there. This is one of the few places where you kind of start back where you were if you haven't finished, which is good for him because it's faster and he wants to finish it. But if you have nothing and you don't know the dark room very well, that can be real rough to kind of keep getting back there. And I think the only way out is to like hard reset your game. So Topplife clearing up those Lake Hylia checks. Likely will head through Super Bunny Cave as well. When he finds it, I don't think there was anything too useful in there. And Chloe, these guys kind of reversing checks right now. Topplife doing a nice bomb jump there in the Super Bunny Cave to save some time. But yeah, Topplife doing that Super Bunny Cave. Chloe is on the Death Mountain, checking everything they can there. Chloe has not been back to Paradox Cave yet, and therefore does not have Moon Pearl, which is interesting and not that great. That was the right side of Turtle Rock, which is an interesting entrance. That is the only way to get to the big chest in Turtle Rock. Also lets us get a few other checks. Even without that Moon Pearl though, Chloe can Bunny Revive in the back of Turtle Rock. So not going to be missing out on items there. Yeah, Top Life taking some time to farm up a bit of money. Could be thinking Zora, just having some extra for later. Khloe taking an extra death there on Laser Bridge. It's only got 4 bombs. I feel like most of the time you do want to bomb that beetle off the bridge just because it's kind of annoying. Alright, takes care of the rest of those laser skips very nicely. Picks up that sword and another bottle. Yeah, Top Life is heading, checking the south route, it looks. So could definitely be thinking Zora. Doesn't have quite the money. Okay, he's actually fluting away though. Hasn't been to the castle yet, so he's gonna do the drop down, get that map. I don't think there was anything interesting in the main entrance. See where Khloe heads now. Khloe is going to Paradox Cave now. It's gonna pick up that Moon Pearl. Okay, main castle entrance was Pod. That's where that was. Thank you. So getting there with Bow, Top Life is going to be able to do a bit more. Still no keys to Pod, so we can't get into the inner chest at all. But shooter room and right side chests. We'll see if and when Khloe decides to go back there, but you would probably want to wait for some keys. It's a little bit of a walk. So main middle entrance of Paradox comes out on East Death Mountain. Likely Khloe will go through that. We'll see after that. One of the connectors there was Desert. I'm not sure if Top Life checked out the bottom of Paradox Cave. That's an option. Khloe in Dark Worlds by Lake Kylia finds the dam. It's always nice to find early-ish. Single item. Opens up the item at the actual dam and required for Swamp Palace, of course. Moon Pearl in hand, Khloe's gonna check out what he can in this part of Dark World. Heading down to the Swamp Palace entrance. Top Life is back in Kakariko. He's gonna clear out Hyrule Castle. Will be very interested to see here. I would assume these runners will both try to save scum a key and check out the back, since it is the lumberjack drop down. And nobody wants to do an extra Agate Tower climb just for 3 checks. So he's just gonna grab the key, head straight back up. Or not even gonna head back in yet. Just gonna check out the entrances, which is kind of interesting. Probably good play. And you can save and quit at some point convenient with that key. Check out those Hyrule Castle items kind of at your leisure. Got some blue mail on the dig game with both our runners kind of high-fiving there right now. Get our blue Yoshi. Top is gonna continue on and do the same Dark World checks that we've just seen out of Khlo. But not gonna find too terribly much over here. Yeah, Khlo finds that Hyrule Castle, right side. Takes a death, I assume, to either save scum or just refill hearts. Does it sound bad? I shouldn't have two mics, but this computer does some strange things sometime. I can also blame it on the Windows update that just happened. What are these guys doing? I'll maybe restart Discord quick. I don't know if that's any better. I have had issues with Discord before, so let me know if that's still an echo and I can try something else. Looks like we found the GT big key that was in the boomerang chest in Hyrule Castle, I guess. Yeah, I am speaking now. Khlo is hard resetting in Hyrule Castle, so safe's coming. Likely gonna head back there, pick up that GT big key out of the boomerang chest, but save the key from the guard there, so they can do the back. So it actually works out pretty well. Is an extra dip into the middle of the castle. But yeah, with Agatower, with Sanction the drop down, you basically want to be super careful. I see Toplife on Bumper Ledge. I didn't see which connector went there, but that is nice. It's kind of interesting if that came out in Light World, because that means there's two connectors there. Yeah, they don't have mirrors, so that would have for sure come out in Light World. Alright, that was the back of Old Man Cave, thank you. We found the left side of Turtle Rock there in Light Shopping World. And that is a spectacle rock entrance, the main one that will give us an item. So Chloe's gonna go back, check out Dark Cross, and go all the way through. No lamps, so this is a little bit of a. It's not too hard with the sword, but it's a little bit of a thing. Top life heading into Village of Outcasts, checking out the entrances there. Finds Meyer at the chess game. He's coming to Hyrule. Chloe's coming to Hyrule Castle in Light World, which means all these sewer enemies are much less dangerous than they would be if you come from Dark World. I still have to be a little bit careful. Going all the way to the dark, that was a heart piece at Dark Cross. We've just got all the dungeon entrances around Village Outcasts. That is the back of Skull Woods, very close to Skull Woods. For top life, it's just some bombs. Cannot go to Mothula, as we do not have a fire source yet. Ooh, there is a glove in the back of Sanctuary, so that is a super valuable sequence break. And half magic's very nice as well to have. I would assume Top Life will do something similar, but possibly could be waiting to see a Hyrule Castle key. The checks in Hyrule Castle aren't super fast, especially this way. But yeah, that glove is super nice. So we're seeing Chloe head straight for the Sanctuary drop down, which we're still not sure what it is, as far as I know, but is possibly the well. It's either the well or a single item. So either way is good to get out of the way as soon as you find that glove. And it is the well, so that is good. That means the Ganon drop down is a single check, which makes it much less valuable to do the climb, even though we've worked so hard to get that GT big key. We saw a small key there on Bumper Ledge in Dark World, so that's kind of interesting. Of course, the only way to get up there without overworld glitches is a connector. Find a Master Sword, which is pretty nice to have early on here. In the, no idea what that place is called, but the House by Lumberjack in Dark World. So Chloe's just putting that glove straight to some good use. Checking out this rock in the south of Hyrule. That's the bomb arrow upgrade fairy. Doesn't choose to do either of those. Neither of these runners have seen Zora yet, so you want to be definitely careful with your money. I haven't opened up the pod area, so yeah, money's still a definite concern. Is that the big key to Tower of Hera in Skull Woods? Nice. So it feels like, oh, there is the Hyrule Castle key. So that is going to make things a little bit easier for Top Life. Just sitting in Skull Woods. that's almost certainly going to be putting Hyrule Castle on his mind, so I would expect him to find that glove and that GT big key pretty quick here. But we'll be clearing out what they can in Skull Woods first. No fire rod to check the entrance in the back. Khloe taking on the Pokey with the fighter sword is not the funnest thing in the world, but gets it done pretty nicely. No Turtle Rock keys yet, so that's the only way to check this chest. That's of course out of logic until we have all of the Turtle Rock keys, but that's just a red boomerang, so not really a big deal anyways. Would you ever save scum that key? I don't know. It's usually you don't need them in Crosskeys. So chain chomp room can definitely be a little bit scary early on like this. There is mirror in chain chomp room, so that's not the nicest location, but really nice to find for Khloe. So mirror and glove in hand. We've done quite a few checks here, so you don't get to double up on as much as you'd like, but it's still pretty nice. Yeah, so we see Toplife heading straight into Hyrule Castle now. That small key in hand can full clear. It's heading straight for the back, gonna pick up that glove. Looks like Khloe tried to do the bomb jump in Spec Rock, but didn't do it. He fell instead. So that is a sequence break. Check the other side. But he's gonna have to check the left entrance instead. Exit only. Finds his way to the floating island on Death Mountain with mirror, just freshly acquired. Is super nice. Picks up a few rupees on the island. But yeah, lots of entrances you can check out now. It's a really good connector. Well, it's a good location. It's kind of a shitty connector. That is the Old Lady Cave. Comes out on that bumper ledge, and we find a small key to Ice Palace. Khloe hasn't seen this in Light World yet. That's a dark connector. Old Man Cave, right? We know what it is. But checks it out quickly and likely knows what it is. So that's one of the easier dark caves. Toplife picking up that glove out of the back, saving quitting. I don't think he did the front, so we'll see if he heads back there. It's not as item dense. But putting that glove straight to use, I think. Gonna check out what is the well. Hopefully one of our trackers caught what that Turtle Rock entrance was. I did not. It's hardly ever important anyways. We find Myers Shed here. This is, I think, the top of Paradox Cave. It's a decent chance we get that check out of Toplife eventually. Well, there was a small key to pod in the well. That's definitely useful. Opens up a couple more checks there. Khloe heads over to the other side of Death Mountain, putting that mirror to good use. Finds Eastern Palace in the Hera entrance. Decides to dive right in. It's got bow, but that doesn't unlock anything without the big key. So finds a castle tower key, which is useful. Speaking of castle tower, that's topplife in there right now without a key. So just gonna be able to get a single item, which I think we should have seen out of Khloe already. Yeah, that was just a red rupee. Eastern big key in Eastern is very spicy. That was in the map chest. So that is a dip and a half for Khloe. We'll see if Toplife makes the same decision when he finds Eastern Palace. Not an easy decision to make always. We've seen some runners in this tournament already get burned by that, either not dipping or, dipping too soon. So I said the bow didn't unlock much. Actually, it gives us full access to clear. Another key to pod is nice to have for sure. Toplife heading through Spectacle Rock is likely going to drop down here. He did do the bomb jump and checked out the other side. So yeah, but he doesn't have mirror, which is unfortunate for him. So not going to get the chance to make that Eastern dip choice. That is going to be really interesting. But is going to check out all the Dark World stuff here. Finds that old lady connector. He's going to check out the nearby entrance first in case it gets locked out. But he won't. Picks up that small key to ice off bumper ledge. Looked like he was thinking about hopping down there, but that would be to check the glove entrance, I think, which we haven't seen. Yeah, that mirror in the chain jump rooms in Turtle Rock. Khloe dove in there. That's a very early available logically check if you have the entrance. There's the front side of Turtle Rock. But no cane, unfortunately, for Toplife. But picks up the big key to Turtle Rock out of a fairy cave on the other entrance. So that was Quake as the Turtle Rock entrance. Khloe taking care of Eastern Palace there, heading into Armos Knights. Yeah, that's probably a good point. Toplife with big key to Turtle Rock is likely gonna check out that big chest, and you would think head back in to get the other checks out of there if he does that. So that could lead him to mirror. First, he's gonna check out the basement of Hyrule Castle. So Khloe not having a super clean kill on Armos there. Picks up something not very valuable and a red pendant. So even though there's a big key there, it's not super required. We found a pod key. That was about the most useful thing in there. So, wow. French vanilla Eastern big key was not very useful, and that dip actually not going to pay out huge. So a little bit extra interesting now if top life goes in or not. So Khloe is back in Hyrule Castle, I think just going through a connector as they have full clears. Top life, death warping here. He's seen everything in Hyrule Castle, so a little bit surprised he doesn't just save and quit out of there. Oh, he hasn't seen all the entrances though yet, so he's gonna check out that left connector as well. Khloe finding that that connector to the Bonk Rocks in Dark World, but seeing most of everything over here. Mirrors and then saves and quits. Not sure where he's going. Yeah, pod key could be important. Hard to say. It maybe gets you there faster, and there could be an item in the front or something. So Khloe's just checking those old man entrances, one of which he's already seen, but apparently does not know it. He's gonna spend a bit of time to get to Bumper Ledge there. Could also just be heading into Dark World that way. Oh, that was Light World, never mind. But he gets to check out a glove entrance he hasn't seen. So that's alright. Just 100 rupees. There's the hammer in Mini Moldorm Cave on Top Life's side. So that is a very nice find. That was in Dark Shopping Mall, the bombable entrance, which we have actually fairly good access to. It's one of the brother connectors, I think. Khloe's there, but not in the right parallel world. Heading back into that Spectacle Rock connector. Gonna try that bomb jump again, I would suspect. But also has... Never mind. He's just gonna head straight over to Dark Death Mountain. Yeah, Dark Shopping Mall is a pretty awkward place usually, but they have flute and it's connected through the brother connector in Kakariko, so it's actually not too bad in this seed. Let's just kind of remember getting there, and they also kind of piecemeal checked things out. Top Life finds the Hera entrance as Khloe picks up his Turtle Rock big key. We have the big key to Hera. Oh, there's flippers. Flippers in the map chest. See the NMG Beetle Room strat, roughly. But yeah, the big key, we can do the whole Hera climb, including Moldorm, and only leave behind the basement chest. So Khloe finally picks up his bug net. I bet he breathes a sigh of relief there. Just 300 rupees in the big chest in Hera. Just weird to do Hera with the big key and not the hook shot. With Hera pot being so common now, especially in Key Sanity. Dude, gonna see some fake flipper checks out of Khloe, it looks like. Which is interesting because topplife just found their flippers. Yeah. 3 Master Sword spins for Moldorm gets it done. Hammer would work too, which quickswap I would usually expect people to switch to. But topplife picks up his first crystal of the match on Moldorm. Ooh, Khloe finds Thieves Town. I'm assuming that was the waterfall entrance as he hops down and gets zoomed back to the start of the dungeon. There's some oddness with that entrance. Flipper's trying to be relevant. Yeah, so I don't understand this water walking, fake swimming state super well, but I guess that means he can't just walk out of there because he's in actual walking form. It's really not the hugest deal with flute in hand. You can just flute to 8 and fake flipper again, lose like a little bit of time if you're bent on doing those checks. Can he unstill a fake flipper? Not gonna bother. Just gonna head straight to 8. Topplife doing these checks in logic. We got our runners pretty much high-fiving here. They both have some very big advantages that the other one doesn't. Topplife with that hammer and Khloe with that mirror. I don't think those checks are too bad for either of them to get. Toplife's got a good reason to go back into Turtle Rock with that big key. Khloe maybe will have some trouble getting back to Dark Shopping Mall, but suspect he's got 2 entrances there that he hasn't seen, and it's fairly quick to get to, so hopefully doesn't leave it too long. Just 10 arrows for 500 rupees. That's a terrible deal. I don't see runners walk out of Thieves Town a lot. So I always assumed death warping is way faster, but I definitely have never timed it. See Khloe head back for pod. It's got that bow and a small key now, so gets 4 extra checks. That is 2 small keys, so he gets to go to the back. See if Khloe picks up anything out of logic here in the back of pod in the dark. Small key to ice, they already have one, so that's not super useful, but has some logical implications. We know where Ice Palace is, but do not have access yet with no Bombos or Fire Rod. Huh. See Khloe walk all the way down and out of that room to set up Hammer Jump? That isn't necessary to do. As long as you don't mess up your variable by picking up the Helmet drop. Could just be he knows it better from that side. If that's true, I'm gonna apologize profusely. If it's Khloe and a girl, I probably should have asked beforehand. I will take your word on it if you're 80% sure. We see Toplife on the pyramids, sees a compass on the ledge. Khloe finds a book in the Staphos basement in pod, so that's better to find early than late, that's for sure, but we've already been some places where that would have been useful. See what that unlocks. Where was Hera? Thank you, Dark World Witch's Hut. There's a small key to Mire there. It's something Toplife's already had. See the chess game at Palace of Darkness entrance, and that is the big key to Mire, which is definitely interesting. No red cane yet. We have seen Mire. That's in Village Outcasts. Do we have access to East Dark World logically? That's a somewhat tricky question. We have Hammer now, which is in logic. And I think access to the other side of Dark World. I don't think. I guess that doesn't give us Village of Outcast access though. We had a connector, the old lady connector on Dark Death Mountain goes to the Bumper Cave ledge in Dark World. I believe that's in logic. Spectral Rock gets us up there. Close clearing out Blind's Hut, finds small key to Turtle Rock, 2 small keys to Turtle Rock. So Topplife is in pod now. Gonna pick up that book. Doesn't have any more keys than Chloe did. Don't believe either of these runners, well, Topplife doesn't have mirror, but don't believe Chloe checked the race game mirror spot for the entrance. I'm assuming we saw the item early and I don't think it was anything. The real question is, has Chloe checked that that glove locked entrance they just walked by? We see Topplife doing the bomb jump to the big chest in Trouble Rock there. Totally forgotten that that was out of logic without hookshot or cane. That's not much of anything. He's going to go through, get the crystal roller check. And then I would think Death Warp back and check out the rest of Turtle Rock. Hopefully for his sake, because that mirror is something you're going to want. Yeah, so Topplife is heading back into Turtle Rock. That's good. Gonna grab the useless item. I think it was Red Boomerang out of the lava chest, and then head back into Chain Chomps. This is a blue cane strat on the Pokey. That's not one I've seen before. That's fairly quick compared to Fighter Sword. Not too sure about Master Sword, but definitely pretty clean. Chloe in Agina's cave for a single item check. Just a map of Thieves Town. That is a long quick swap to Boomerang. Nearly takes a chain jump to the face. Possibly not really too worried about it with Red Mail. Was not expecting to find Mirror in that chest and was planning to Death Warp probably. I actually didn't know you could clip through that rail with a bomb jump. I thought you had to go over the other side and walk down. That's much faster if you're trying to get the left entrance. I know with boots when you bonk, you do go through the left side. Yeah, somehow I never saw that. I'm assuming you just line up tight on the left wall and do the bomb jump instead of like a pixel 2 over like you do to get to the big chest. There's that sword on Spectral Rock, which is now a tempered sword. That's all we've seen. We also gotta check out the tablet up here. Still no fire source, an hour and 8 in. Oh, there we go. That's the commentators curse type of thing. So lamp on the ether tablet, which would have been useful in Skull Woods where Chloe just was. Topplife finds Eastern Palace and is diving in. This is his first time on this side of the mountain because he didn't have a mirror before. Yeah, this is good for Chloe. Toplife's gonna find that big key and full clear here for that pendant, which as far as we know is not required. That's such a more interesting big key if Eastern's a crystal in this seed. Well, I was definitely a little bit disappointed with myself. But both these runners putting the time sink into pendant Eastern for very little, which is all right. Kind of balances out. Chloe is in Skull Woods, so we could see a ped check. Still no fire rod. Picks up that Tower of Hera big key. We'll find that Hyrule Castle key and kind of curse how much time they spent saves coming maybe. Except they had glove really early, so that maybe balances out. Yeah, I likely could have skipped that key and picked up the one in the back. But it's gonna skip that one now. We get a nearly vanilla Skullwoods entrance layout, which is nice. Check the back, not deal with any nonsense. Toplife finishing up Eastern Palace. Picked up their pod key and won't get a lot else out of there. Did not see Ped out of Chloe, which is a little bit surprising. It's probably no better time to do it. That's not true. If they do find Fire Rod, you can loop it in with that. Entrance check. Of course, that's not going to help you if Fire Rod's on Ped. Which is very unlikely, I guess. Not impossible yet, by our knowledge, I don't think. Chloe still doesn't have those flippers out of Tower of Hera, so is doing the Kern jump. Having a little bit of trouble with that. That looked close to me. The fast setup for this, you drop a bomb right as you kind of get around the bottom. Runs out of bombs, unfortunately. You can also, and still a fake flipper there. I don't know if that's easier or not, but also requires bombs. Is gonna have to take a different method to get over there. So could lead her to the dark shopping mall maybe, and that will be good because Mini Moldorm Cave is there, and that's where the hammer is. Toplife's back on Death Mountain with that mirror. Finds Mire Shed, which we've already seen. Just a Turtle Rock key. We probably have plenty of those. Toplife hasn't found Blind's Hut yet, which had 2 in it, but we pretty much cleared out what we can in Turtle Rock without Cane and Fire Rod. Khloe looks like they're heading to do the mirror check on the maze race here. Which is kind of a isolated check. I'm hoping they haven't forgotten about the brother connector to Dark Shopping Mall. This is a like Death Mountain Descent dark cave, which is not the easiest thing to get through in the dark, with those bats and a couple holes as well. But Khloe does it no problem at all, so. Finds their way to that bridge outside of Turtle Rock, which is a nice connector to find. Sick Kid in the Mimic Cave entrance, just 10 arrows. Toplife taking that mirror to the top of Hyrule Castle, which is, as far as I know, we haven't seen yet. I could be wrong. Sees the top of the Fairy Ascension Cave, Fairy Fountain, and Hype Cave. It's almost a very boring top of Hyrule Castle. Another Turtle Rock small key, and not a lot else. So not a super hype cave. So this is good. Khloe has found their way to that dark shopping mall, Mini Moldorm Cave. We'll pick up their hammer. I don't remember if there was anything else useful in here. Interesting note, we have seen all of the Turtle Rock keys. We've already seen the lava chest. It was just boomerang, but those are logically required for Trinex as well. Khloe a little bit late picking up that hammer. That's gonna unlock a few things, as well as just give some less annoying Dark World access. We see Khloe and Toplife pretty much same place right now. Taking that Dark World connector Dark World portal outside Link's house. And heading down to Spike Cave. So doing hammer checks, I guess, straight away. It's a little bit interesting for sure. I like to last location Spike Cave myself. It's a big old red rupee there. Toplife taking the long walk out of there. Well, Chloe saves and quits. This is smart on Toplife's side because he can go check the tablet right here. Which Chloe did not do. Could be thinking routing it in later with Smith Chain if that happens, if we see a mitt. But that is going to cost her a bit, as that is the hook shot on Bombo's tablet. Big find for Toplife there. We have seen Hookshot Cave. It's going to give us a whole bunch of access in Ganon's tower. So that is a little bit rough for Chloe, unfortunately. So that was definitely the best time to do it, unless you find mitts and do Smith Chain. It's interesting to go down there just for Spike Cave. Oh, and there's a big key to desert, the second chest in Aga Tower. So another good find there, routed in by Toplife. Remembering to dive into Aga Tower for that extra check while he's in the area. Heading back into the dam entrance. That is Hookshot Cave right there. So that is a pretty handy location to find Hookshot. Small key to pod. What are we up to there? 3? Yeah, Desert Palace was somewhere in Vu, with Meyer and Skull Woods over there as well. Chloe taking that hammer to East Dark World. Check out some of those spots that are now in Logic. See some really nice routing out of Toplife here. Being very efficient and finding a lot of good stuff too. Can't say I've seen that mistake before. I'm not sure if that was if he could have come back from that. I don't think he could have got the one chest. It's gotta be button mashing with the mirror and just missed it or something. Chloe finds Hype Cave, which is going to be way less exciting than she's probably hoping. Chloe doing some of the same stuff we've already seen Toplife do. pops out that ferry connector into the checkerboard cave entrance. It's heading back over to Dark World. Hasn't seen the potion shop yet, I think. That's probably where they're heading. Which, of course, will be Hera for those flippers that would have been pretty useful. Yeah, topplife reading in a lot of stuff right now. A good number of checks and entrances all together. He's got that lamp that was on Ether tablet, so no trouble at all going through this connector. Take him out to the Turtle Rock Bridge. See a quick map check out of Toplife there. 3 crystals was Turtle Rock, Pod, and Swamp. And the Skullwoods Red Crystal we already knew about. It's interestingly, we can get Red Bomb pretty easily here. Won't be in logic without Fire Rod. But Bomb Jump would get us that Skullwoods crystal, which is just outside Village Outcasts. Not sure where Toplife's going. Is this Ganon's Tower over here? I think that's right. Because that would definitely be the first thing on your mind. You've got Hammer and Hookshot in mind. So a ton of checks we get here. We have 2 GT small keys and the big key. And there's a vanilla, well, I have no idea what's in that chest normally, but there's a small key to GT in GT. So 3 out of 4 ain't bad. The climb leading to a single item drop down is less tempting than normal, but as soon as you start seeing those GT keys pile up, it's on your mind for sure. Moldorm being Moldorm. Even with Tempered Sword in hand, can be a huge troll. Just finding all the GT keys right now. Yeah, I'm not gonna say no to silver arrows, that's for sure. Definitely not gonna say no to boots. These are a little bit interestingly checks that Toplife's had available out of logic for quite a while with that hammer, but you don't usually see people bomb jump all the way through. Boots and silver arrows are very nice though. Chloe doing catfish and mirroring away. Just fluting out of there. I didn't catch what that big chest was. Just a map. That Eastern Palace map that would have been useful before diving in there. Looks like Chloe's heading back to Dark Death Mountain. There's mitts in the back of GT Basement, the big key room. So pretty loaded Ganon's Tower, not terribly surprising I guess. But boots, silver arrows, mitts, I didn't see if we got any useful keys. Pod Swall is definitely still pretty useful. So yeah, we see the Toplife take those mitts straight to the mire area for a whole bunch of checks we haven't got yet. Picks up that Bombos off the ledge. That will give us Ice Palace access. If we choose. No cane yet, so no Icebreaker. May tempt them to put it off. But we'll see. Still a good number of entrances to check here. Chloe looks like they're headed for a ped check. Or not. They just took that book out. Feels like a restream troll to me. Without Farad, I don't think there's anything else for her to do in Skullwoods unless she recently picked up the Skullwoods big key, which is looks like correct. And that's a big key to Ice Palace, which is definitely nice to have. So will we get a ped check here, or is she just gonna leave? Not gonna bother. Ped not required. So Toplife does have that Skullwoods big key as well, but doesn't dip in there to grab that Ice Palace big key. We'll see if that makes any difference if he remembers to go there at some point. Where can Swamp Palace be? We haven't seen all our boots locations yet. We haven't seen some mitts locations. I think Ice Palace entrance or the Turtle Rock entrance. Yeah, Overworld of course fully open now with their items. Well, with Toplife's items anyways. I would expect Chloe to make their way to GT fairly quick once they find that hook shot, which hopefully isn't too late. Hammer pegs, yeah, good call there. Silver arrows making quick work of Landmost for Toplife. for that blue pendant we were looking for. So that gives us full knowledge. I don't think either of our runners will have. Ice Palace, our last crystal, which we can do on top life side anyways. Chloe is here in Light World, I think, checking out this Agatar. I could hopefully at least thinks about that tablet. Well, they never bothered to get the first chest when they found Agatar the first time, probably just with bombs or something. So this is 2 checks for Chloe. We see Top Life grabbing the smith and setting up a mirror, but gonna go turn him in. That was flute spot 5, cave. Right, big key to desert was there, so that was potentially not important, actually, now that we know it's a pendant. Yeah, that smith location was actually pretty nice with flute. Chloe's gonna take that big chest straight into desert and check the one chest there that we haven't seen. Ooh, gets grabbed by the pit. Top Life checking out hammer pegs. Well, in the area. See if this is swamp. It is not. So we're still looking for a dungeon entrance. But this route's in pretty well with these item checks. We've got a good idea of what we need for items. Fire Rod will be hard required for Trinax. Canis Samaria, of course. Potentially we need Quake for Swamp. This, yeah, this is gonna be a little bit of a time sink for Chloe here. Heading into the back of desert with that big key, but unfortunately has not found that lamp on Ether Tablet. And we've got some sort of janky fire rod in the seed. Yeah, I've got distracted. Star has summed up our go mode items there much better than I have. That's a small time save if Chloe never comes back to desert. That's a very good point. And Top Life in the back of Skullwoods puts that bomb boost to use, which is a really good use of it. Feels like Chloe is struggling a bit to, find the checks needed. A lot of little one-off stuff. Following that big key like straight away. Really needs to get to that tablet. The Bombos tablet. This is not going to be a bad find for her either. The lamp right here. Going to be a little bit annoying. Having just come out of the back of desert. That's pretty clean moth fight out of Top Life. Picks up another crystal, the second 5/6 crystal. Speaking of entrances we haven't seen, that's one of them. I remember where the bomb shop was. It was right by Link's house. The Bomb Cave. South of Link's house. That's definitely out of logic with that fire rod, but just got one dungeon entrance you're looking for. Still pretty interesting. So checks out the hobo. Is heading this way again without the book selected. So into Dark World, probably. Toplife is heading into Skullwoods now, so he's going to pick up that Ice Palace big key. I would think be fairly tempted to go clear Ice Palace with that Bombos in hand. Must have been a little bit low on that bomb jump. Doesn't quite get it. Toplife mirroring and going to check Ped by the looks of things. So we finally get this Ped check that Chloe was teasing us with earlier. Just a heart piece. See Chloe also sequence wrecking the back of Skullwoods. That bomb jump. Doesn't have boots, so she had to be a little bit more careful with time. It's still pretty lenient. Yeah, so we see Toplife head straight to Ice Palace, which I think makes sense when you find that big key. You're fairly late in, you don't have a ton of checks left. You can only hold out for Red Cane for so long before it's the right call. This is, in my opinion, why Icebreaker's great in Rando, is just gives you a couple extra choices. When to do Ice Palace, that sort of thing. People say, well, you're always going to do Icebreaker, but you don't always have Red Cane, so you still need to know both routes to be competitive. Chloe picking up that crystal off of Skull Woods. Also has Red Bomb available to her. And as we know, Fire Rod is always an Ice Palace, so just makes sense to come here. Chloe's back in Desert now with that lamp. So that is, almost a little bit unfortunate for her. Just gonna pick up a pendant there, which we've just discovered is not required for anything. That's a very good point. Chloe, being this dungeon, will get the pendant knowledge, and then know what all the dungeons she has to beat, which is pretty useful. Knowing what your go mode items are, and which entrances you need. Fortunately, doesn't have those silver arrows out of GT. Using ice rod strats, which is the same as fire rod, but not quite as easy because they move a little slower. topplife doing some icebreaker muscle memory and not pulling the switch to open the door. It's so easy to do. And there is our 5th key to Palace of Darkness. Still need the big key to pod to clear it. We still got a few checks left here. See Chloe taking the swamp portal. This could be the tablet check. So looks like it finally gonna pick up that hook shot, which should lead her pretty quickly to GT, probably hookshot cave first. So that's good to finally find. Possibly will feel a little bit behind. But yeah, you gotta head to GT right away with that. So that leads to boots, silver arrows, and mitts, plus an extra pod key. With a quick swap, is it quicker to bomb the floor? In that ice palace room? There is a red cane! That's a real prize in the big chest of Ice Palace. Wow. So good thing neither runner dove in here without that big key. This was a fairly void hookshot cave. Was the shovel? I'm fairly certain that didn't lead to anything. Topplife taking on Cold Stare, Tempered Sword. Does not quite get a clean 6 slash, but still a pretty quick kill. Yeah, gotta be thinking Mire next, I guess. I don't think either of these runners have dipped in there yet, which is always a little bit tempting. But both keys in hand, you can full clear. Definitely looking for Fire Rod would be a big one. Toplife's back in Palace of Darkness. With all those keys, he's thinking some of these chests that are deeper in logic can still not get the big chest or Helma. So Red Bomb is a Spiral Cave, which is pretty spicy if that is an important item. We have already seen the exit. So as a connector, not needed. Oof, but just a red rupee. So that's a long walk for 20 rupees. Right color, wrong shape. Top Life, I guess, I hadn't done a whole chunk of pods, so it makes a good amount of sense to come here. That's Chloe, who had already done a bunch of this without lamp. Hey, there's that key to that place you just were. So Top Life gets to only leave the big chest here, and Big Key's looking pretty late, so possibly won't be important. We do see Chloe in GT now, so she's gonna full clear left side all the way to Ice Armos, pick up those silver arrows, the boots, and the mitts, which is gonna unlock a whole bunch. The GT climb is available. Top Life did not choose to do that. That's a pretty tough choice when you find so many things in the basement. But we'll see what Chloe does. There's a decent chance she feels a little bit behind. Hard to say for sure. But both that hammer and the hookshot were fairly late compared to Top Life. So you see 3 GT keys and you might say, well, I don't think my opponent's going to do this, but it's fairly close to in logic. I might just do it right now. And then if Fire Rod or something is there, it could pay off pretty big. Yeah, those late boots hurt too, because you're kind of losing time on like half the screens in the game. Yeah, top heading into Misery Mire, which makes total sense. Can full clear, it's a lot of checks. Somehow neither of these runners have dipped it. Late fire sources will do that to you a little bit, because you can't get everything. Big Key was fairly late too, I think. Yeah, boots after Spiral Cave definitely hurts a bit. Top Life does have access to the right side of GT, which we haven't seen yet. With that amazing red cane in the big chest of Ice Palace. So Chloe clears out GT, does leave immediately, which is probably the sensible choice. And our last Palace of Darkness key in Misery Mire puts everything into logic. We still need that big key, obviously, to get the chest and the boss. We get the slow cutscene room with lamp. The intended way, probably. Chloe picking up that bombos, checking out the mire area. Picks up their 14th heart in the Hammer Pegs cave. Yeah, healthy seed, and that is with red mail, which we've had for ages and ages. Well, that was a handy place for bombos to be, right outside of Mire, which requires bombos. Amazingly, we still haven't seen the Swamp Palace entrance or small key, which are both required to finish the seed. Chloe also not grabbing that ether, knowing it's not required for anything. Oh, I guess that makes a lot of sense to dash down there before falling off. The camera cutscene is so slow. I never thought of doing that. I thought for some reason Toplife was like heading back into the other room. I bet that's a decent time save. We don't get spooky action because we got no fire rod. The front of Mire didn't churn out too much of value. We'll see if Vidi has anything. A really quick fight with those silver arrows for Toplife. Small key to swamp, so that is one of our go mode items on Vitreous. The most pesky small key in the game. Hard required for Swamp Palace. Where do we head to now? We're definitely interested in entrances. Still don't have Quake, so we can't check the Turtle Rock main entrance. I think we've still got some Boots entrances to check up here. We're still missing the Pod Big Key for Go mode. There is our fire rod, the first chest in Swamp, which was the Pegasus Rocks outside of Sanctuary, I think. So just missing Pod Big Key now. We can clear Swamp and Turtle Rock. Looks like our tracker Star has to go. Thanks a lot. Be sure to give our trackers a follow. Star and Samimus. Butcher the name again. Give our runners a follow too. Toplife and KhloePrower, which I'm very sorry if I'm mispronouncing and if I'm using the wrong pronouns as well. I did not see where Chloe picked up this big key to Thieves Town, but she's diving into the back with that for that green pendant. This is a little bit of a play. About the only thing of value that could be here would be the Pod Big Key. See right side diver down. No pod, big key so far in swamp. So that's Sahashala gives you the key to go get the Greek pendant, and then he gives you another item, which is handy, I guess. Only if it's the pod big key though. Which would be real interesting if it was. Top Life getting a pretty good first cycle on Argus there. Just a couple puffs to clean up, and then finishes off with silver arrows. So nice fight there. Picks up 5th crystal, I think. Likely we'll be heading to Turtle Rock really quick here. Chloe taking on Blind. It's not quite on script for that second phase, but cleans him up pretty quickly. Oh boy! The big key to Palace of Darkness on Blind. Pendant Blind. That is a little bit spicy. So that is, I would say, a gamble by Chloe that has paid off pretty big. Don't know for sure when Top Life will think about doing that. Chloe still has quite a bit to do. But basically needs to clear Ice Palace, get that red cane, clear Mire, get that swamp smolky, and then find swamp. Top Life finds the cape in C-shaped house. I do not recall seeing Bumper Cave. We're not really too interested in entrances anymore. This definitely could be interesting. Chloe has a pretty decent deficit to make up, but that big key on Blind is a big find for sure. And she could get into go mode. Not too bad. We see Chloe pulling Ped, and I've got her audio on, and I hear some sheep for the Ped sound, which is awesome. Looks like Chloe going to check some more entrances is gonna find swamp. Fire Rod was the first chest, so she's actually gonna get that, which is really nice. Hopefully for Chloe, she doesn't put off Ice Palace too long without this red cane, because that is where she needs to go. That and Mire. her tracker is correct. She hasn't seen Meyer, which is odd because it's at the chess game in Village of Outcasts. That could be rough if she's mistracked it or something. She finds that cape and is going through Bumper Cave. Takes a bit of a fall there. Topplife did clean up Trinex just now and is checking out the front of Turtle Rock. Still, of course, looking for that Palace of Darkness big key that's in a little bit of a nasty spot. I do feel Chloe needs to, start clearing some of these dungeons. Looks like she's headed for Turtle Rock, I think is on the side of Death Mountain here. At least one of the entrances. Let's see. Yeah, Topplife definitely has a sizable lead here. He does have to find kind of a horrible big key on blind, but has also done a lot. So we'll see how long that takes. See Chloe still doing like a lot of single item checks and stuff. Is gonna go clear out pod, which makes sense with that big key. Topplife checking Magic Bat for 50 rupees. Yeah, I missed that as well. I was watching Chloe's stream. We're getting the back of Skullwood's entrance check here. Topplife already checked Ped, so he knows that the big key is not there. We don't know what Chloe's gonna find in this big chest, but we know it's not gonna be important. Takes a bit of a fall doing Hammer Dump there. Yeah, if Chloe has somehow mismarked Meyer or something like that, it could be a big problem because she might be thinking she needs Quake to check the Turtle Rock main entrance. These runners have otherwise checked pretty much most entrances, as far as I can tell. Topplife obviously cleaning up a few for himself here. I think we have seen these out of Chloe, at least this one. Chloe heading down into the basement of Pod to take care of Helma. Topplife in a cave he's already opened. Meant to go to the Light World side. So Toplife has not checked that Ice Palace entrance yet, which is Sahasrahla, and that's where the Thieves Town Big Key is. He's doing Red Bomb right now. Kind of wondering how long till he does do that. Chloe taking care of Halmasaur with Tempered Sword. Pretty quick fight. $300. That is her third crystal. So I would think the play for her next is Turtle Rock. Not Turtle Rock because she doesn't have a cane. I mean Ice Palace. And it does look like she's heading that way. Ice Palace is the archery shop in Light World. Checking Shovel right now, which hopefully is on the way to Ice Palace. That's what it looks like. Toplife finds that spiral cave in the Pyramid Fairy entrance, follows it through for his red rupee. That'll spit him out at the potion shop. Not super sure where he's heading. Probably GT with the red cane. So he can do the right side chests. Red cane is in the big chest in Ice Palace. If you haven't seen it earlier on Toplife side. So yes. And that is going to get Chloe very close to go mode. She just has to take that red cane to Misery Mire. Viddy has the small key to Swamp. So kind of see here, Toplife has the terrible option of climbing GT for absolutely nothing. If he does that, this becomes a much closer race, I think. Thieves Town Big Key is on Sahasrahla, which is, well, in Sahasrahla's closet, I should say. Big difference. In the Ice Palace entrance. I would love to learn how to do this mummy switch room quickly without taking 1,000,000 hearts damage. There's Quake, which is, I would say, an item neither of our runners really wanted to see. Ooh, so things did just get a little bit interesting. Toplife buying into the GT climb. So gonna spend a few minutes here. There is an item in the drop down, so he'll go all the way to Agatu. I'm not sure if that's gonna be enough to make up the deficit, but Chloe finds her red cane here. That should lead her to Misery Mire, unless she has mismarked it and doesn't know where it is. Which will get her to go mode. So some interesting things here yet. don't know what MSU Chloe's using, but it's like super ambient music. Except for the ped pull, which was sheep pawing. Yeah, Misery Mire especially not fast. Chloe will likely full clear. And unfortunately the item's on Vidi. Turtle Rock, Laser Bridge entrance, I want to say somewhere on Death Mountain. I think it's fairly accessible. So Chloe dropping into Cold Stare right now. Putting that Bombos to use to crack the shell. Ooh, misses the spin. That's going to cost a bit of time. Half magic, this isn't really too dangerous a fight. But these runners have had red mail for ages, and Chloe's at 17 hertz. So loses a little bit of time there, but not too bad. Picks up her heart piece and her 4th crystal. Yeah, that deep pod big key in Thieves Town is pretty nuts. That was a felt like a gamble by Chloe that really paid off. I would have liked to seen her after finding that big key rush her dungeons a little bit more. But Toplife putting a good chunk of time into this climb here, which isn't going to pay out at all. Thieves Town's small or not, I feel like when Toplife finds that big key, he's not gonna have a lot left, and the back of Thieves is just gonna have to be the play pretty much. Whether you're opposed to orphaning that chest or not. Chloe taking on Trinex here. Front door Trinex with Tempered Sword. Spin lineup is not one I'm super familiar with. Still looks like she got double O. And picks up the 5th crystal off Trinex. So Misery Mire and Swamp to go. If she goes straight to Mire, she's on her way to go mode. Toplife finishes GT and does the drop down for his single item there. I didn't see what it was, but it wasn't useful. I've never been on this castle wall before. Amazing he didn't bonk there. Yeah, that's Chloe clearing out these chests in the front of Turtle Rock, which looking for that small key, she pretty much has to. Best time for it. Unfortunately, not going to be the key she wants. Topplife finding that Thieves Town big key. Right next to the GT key that he needed to put that climb in logic. So it looks like he is heading into Thieves Town, which is in the waterfall. So it's a Thieves plus a helmet clear for Topplife. Chloe needs to do Mire and Swamp. And looks like she is heading into Village Outcast, so hopefully straight to Mire. That's the keys to Thieves Town, very close by. It's the green pendant, which you can turn in right where you got the key from. Of course, we won't be seeing Topplife turn that green pendant in, as he's going to hit go mode once he beats blind. So he's got a few minutes here probably, plus a couple in pod. It's really going to depend how much of Mire Chloe does here, but if she full clears, it's got to be something like 5 minutes. Looks like she is full clearing. Yeah, unfortunately, rushing a video would be the right call, but it's probably a tough one to make. And the odds being pretty low of that small key being there. That's not the small key Topplife is looking for. Misery Mire. Alright, Topplife heading into blind. First cycle down. No problem there, right on script. And there is that big key to pod. So Topplife hitting go mode at 2:23:33, but has only to kill Helmasaur. So he's walking up to the castle. Pod is in the main entrance of Hyrule Castle. Yeah, the Thieves Town play, good gamble by Chloe, but unfortunately not going to make up the time difference, it looks like. Still has to kill Viddy and clear the back of Swamp. Toplife making his way towards Helma. Basement of Pod. Damage boosting through the turtle. Beams, the worst thing ever in this room. With red mail, hard to get rid of them. Chloe on Vitreous, putting cape strats to work with that gold sword. Pretty quick. 2 silver arrows to finish it off. Picks up her 6th crystal. Toplife heading straight into Helmasaur. Bomb strats. That must save quite a bit of time to do a couple bombs to start off the fight. It's 9 less hammer hits, something like that. And that is the final crystal for Toplife. So he's just got to flute to Kakariko and head to Ganon, which is in the Magic Bat drop down. Is Cape Strats on Vidi really faster? Seems hard to believe. Alright, here we go, the Ganon fight. Gold Sword, Red Mail, 17 Hertz. 6 hits on phase 1 and 2. Toplife on phase 3 for Ganon. 2 hits down, 3 hits down. Just misses the swipe there for the Quicksilvers. But cleans him up. Get your GGs in chat for Toplife. Very nice silver fight there. Toplife with an official time of 2:22 or 2:28:18. Chloe not too far behind, finishing up Vidi right now, which is her final crystal. So should be a couple minutes, 2 or 3 minutes till she's done. Something like that. And we are joined in chat by Toplife. Good game.
GG.
What do you think of the seed?
Why didn't I commit to either or? Like, the scene itself, maybe okay. I have to evaluate a little bit later. It was like in the end there, I was like, okay, don't want to commit to GT yet because I want to find Sahasla first. It's a good item cave. And then, yeah, I just checked that what the Sahasla was on the way to GT was my thought. But I came from the north side. Oh yeah, it was the Blitz connector that dragged me away from it. So thereby I didn't commit to either the climb or Sahasla Hut, which is probably the worst you can do in a 1v1 raid.
Yeah, it was. Unfortunately, that was the answer. We were kind of interested if you had gone there first, if you would have dived right into Thieves Town after finding that big key.
Yeah, I would.
You would have, yeah.
Well, Thieves-Town was still out of logic though. I don't know where that small key was. It can't be that many places left, but
I don't think either of you found it, so that is kind of interesting.
it's like you have a Hera basement. We have no, we don't have pod because it can't be there. We have left side swamp for me at least.
Yeah, for Chloe as well. The small key was the last thing she found. Chloe's done, just finished beating Ganon, so get your GGs in chat for her as well. Really, actually, fairly close race in the end.
And I lost a bit luck of the item cave, so it could have been in the Turtle Rock entrance too, as far as I know.
Yeah, you found that quake in the right side of GT. But, yeah, Chloe was really late to her hammer and also to that mirror, I think was the biggest difference. Then she dove Thieves Town right away after that big key with quite a bit left to do. So that was a gamble that kind of paid off pretty well for her.
Oh, Titans.
And unfortunately just couldn't quite make up the lead though.
Yeah, Titan's Miss must have been earlier for Chloe then.
No, because she didn't have the hook shot till quite late, so she never sequence broke GT, so she was missing out on boots and mitts for quite a long time.
Then I was just wondering how can she dive into Thieves Town deeper earlier. I guess
not earlier than that, but earlier than you.
like,
I guess is what I mean.
It's like I didn't really have much left in logic when I found the glow, etc., and I knew that was a bit out of logic. That's why I kind of kept looking thoroughly for something new, which was the hammer.
And we're joined by Chloe in chat. GG's. Apologies if I've been saying your name wrong for 2 hours.
No, it's fine. Totally good.
GG.
GG's. How are things?
What do you think about that seed?
Oh, it was uncomfortable, I guess.
Yeah.
Just weird stuff in weird locations.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we saw you a little bit late to hammer and a little bit late to that hook shot as well. It's kind of interesting, you both did Spike Cave almost exactly the same time. But Toplife went over to check the tablet right away and you didn't, and that was probably the biggest difference in the race, I would say.
Yeah, I missed that pretty early, and I'm like, ugh. And it just, I don't know, a lot of stuff I felt like I went to really late in the game.
Yeah.
The hammer was definitely a big thing. That one felt the worst, I think, was the hammer, because I saw that entrance so long ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we saw you, you picked up that Thieves Town big key off of Sahashla's closet and went straight to Thieves Town. What was your thought process there? Did you think about doing any other dungeons first or anything like that?
I mean, pretty much all the dungeons I had access to I just didn't want to do at the time. I was still hunting around for Swamp Palace, because I really wanted to know where that was, and missing the fire rod was really bad at that point too. I don't know, I just felt like Thieves Town was 3 items and it was like right next to the hospital. I figured it was a quick play. And plus it was pedestal at that point for me too, so it was like 5 items.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was an interesting play anyways, with ice and most of Meyer left, and paid out pretty big. You never did the GT climb, and topplife ended up doing that before finding that big key. So that really made things a lot closer than they were at before that. Kind of made for a good end to the race.
I figured that if it was up for GT, then I was probably done.
Well, it might have been logically GT required.
Well, right. I think probably the Deep Sound Smoke was up there, right?
No, it's only Hera Smolky up there. But I have so few checks, so it's like I would guess it's almost like 25% chance it's in the Hera basement at this point.
It's got to be pretty high chance. Either that or something in the Turtle Rock entrance, maybe.
Oh, it could also be in Thieves Down Big Chest. That I remember that.
Someone did mention that in chat.
That's the most awful place for someone that likes to read logic like I do.
Yeah, I was not in Logic for pretty much 90% of the seed.
What did you guys think about that Red Cane location?
I'm so glad I didn't just jump into Ice Palace before everything was in Logic.
Yeah.
I probably should have done Ice Palace earlier, but I didn't want to do that without Red Game.
That's the problem now with Icebreaker for sure. That was an interesting one. Yeah, we saw that topplife you had access to full clear Ice Palace except for that chest, but luckily did dip back into Skullwoods and pick up that Ice Palace big key before doing that. Definitely could have been a problem.
Ice Palace big and Skullwoods big, yeah, great.
Nice. Well, any other thoughts on the seed?
What did it actually expect you to do? Did it actually expect you to kill Aga, or did it just give you Hyrule and Maya?
No, the hammer was so you could walk all over to Hera with the hammer in Dark World to get the flippers, I think, and that would bring the mirror or something.
Yeah. No, the issue is I saved scrubbed the key in Hyrule Castle, so I went to the back and got the glove fairly early.
I don't remember where mirror was exactly now, but I thought it was Hammerlock when I played.
Mirror was the Chain Chomp chest. Hyrule Castle key was in Skullwoods.
Oh yeah,
proper.
Yeah, Chain Chomp. Yeah, that was in Logic earlier. So you could have just used that to get to the lab. So it's not that hard.
Cool. Looks like topplife, your next matchup is GFE, who has been watching in chat. Any thoughts on that matchup?
Well, it will be exciting. I hope I can step up my game a little bit. Like I did a few too many run through Village of Outcast there, which wasn't needed.
For sure.
So, like minor stuff like that, like it loses a couple of minutes overall. So I hope I can sharpen it up, and hopefully not almost last location as I keep doing in these entrance seats.
Unfortunately, fairly easy to do.
Yeah, sooner or later I can't keep winning if I do it. But it has gone good so far.
Looks like Chloe, you are on to face Ninban in the Deadly Losers bracket. Any thoughts on that matchup?
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Ninban's really good, so.
I hope you beat him, because he kicked me out of the tournament.
Ooh. Alright. Nice. I gotta play double yard then.
Awesome. Appreciate
I gotta actually not die on stuff.
Alright, well, if you guys don't have any other thoughts, I think we'll kind of wrap things up here. I haven't looked at the schedule for today, but I'm pretty sure there's a bunch more races on.
There's always more Crosskeys races.
That's right.
Always more. We got, yeah. Hold on, I can post a link up to the. Oh, there we go. Star's already done it. There is ZSI schedule and the Crosskeys schedule for the tournament. Again, all races get broadcast, but we always try and get as many of them live as we can. Really just depends on getting volunteers, so hopefully we can find some more commentators and show some more matches. I'm sure there'll be more coming out later in the week, if not later today potentially. So we'll see how that goes. Right. And yeah, I think we are more or less done. Anyone wants any closing remarks before we finish? Nope. Just me then. I'll say, yeah, cheers to our trackers, Samamas and Star1468 for keeping us up to date on the site. And thanks to Chimo, for doing our commentary. That's the first time I got your name wrong this stream. So.
I've been doing it wrong to everyone in the stream as well, so apologies for that. And big thanks to Din for restreaming as well. So.
No worries, always enjoy watching these seeds. Right, I've got asked a raid target, which is more or less just someone I picked randomly out of the directory, so I'm sure it'll be good fun. They just started their own Link to the Past seed, so see how we get on with that. Anyway, cheers everyone, and see you soon.